put your hand down, or?
Why, go ahead.
Good morning, Dudley. Sorry we're a few minutes late. We've been signing a gazillion invoices and other necessary things to keep the town running. Hi, Joanne.
Hello.
Tom's not going to be with us this morning, so
All right. Well, that will put a hold on voting for the minutes for the last meeting.
it'll be inky and dinky, yep.
All right, I make a motion to approve the motor vehicle abatements for the month of July in the amount of $74.37.38.
Second and unanimous.
Make a motion to approve motor vehicle abatements for the month of August in the amount of $39.29.70.
Unanimous.
Make a motion to approve the following personal property bills to be abated.
So these you had a question on last meeting.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we do know that he's still around, number one.
Unfortunately, in Massachusetts, personal property is not lienable. So if they don't pay
We'll
it,
send him a bill.
we have.
Oh, well, he's not
Yeah,
gonna.
they just start,
Oh,
so the first one, he sold the property, he really doesn't owe it.
no, he still has the personal property.
Right, so he gets billed at his new location,
Did he?
yes.
Okay.
And the
What's the
other
deal with the
one,
other one? They going out of business?
they're gone, they're cleaning up the property, the bank is,
Oh.
it's a mess. So, unlike.
Oh, and that was Tom's client, so he could, I got you, okay, I'm with you. That's why we couldn't vote it the last time, because both of those were Tom's clients.
And, what was the other thing I was gonna say? So like when we put unused, unpaid water and sewer liens, usage liens, when we key those in onto the bills, those are lienable. By law, we can't add these to the tax bill, the real estate.
So
tax
if the
bill.
solar farms don't pay their bills, or up the creek?
Yes.
Really?
Wow.
So, well, the pilot programs, we have a signed contract, they have to
Okay.
pay that, and that's lienable, but the one that we do have up in West Dudley,
Yeah.
that's through personal property.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I believe that's why towns do pilot programs instead of doing it through
Yeah.
personal property.
Yeah. Somebody told me that different solar companies had been going to court, and because of some obscure 1984 Massachusetts law, they don't have to pay taxes.
Well, I know solar panels on your
Three
personal
different
house
towns,
is
right?
exempt for the first 20 years.
Why?
It's a mass general law. And at 20 years,
I know
that's a
that our
lifetime of
legislators are
panels,
not
so.
terribly bright, but
You know, back then, those solar panels weren't popular on houses, you know, so
well, they
maybe
work
that
for hot
needs
water
to.
heaters.
Is that
Oh,
the
is it?
same on land?
Yes.
So
The
all
town of
the-
Westboro, the solar farms in the town of Westboro took them to court and won. They pay no taxes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Isn't that-
Two other towns
Yeah.
suffered the same defeat
Interesting.
because of this obscure law. I was
Hmm.
talking with a solar farm expert in Southbridge,
Yeah. Interesting.
such a smart guy, yeah, he's such a
He
smart
is, he's
guy.
awesome.
Hmm.
Who do you think I call when I need help?
Yeah. Exactly. The town doesn't realize what a wonderful resource they have with him.
Yep.
He's also the IT guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably the assistant mayor.
He was good friends with Dave Utakis.
I know he was.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry for
all right,
that, but I knew you didn't know that, so.
No, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve bills number 232, 28, 8, 9, and 8.
That's double eight.
Oh, double 8.
8,
Yes.
8.
8, 8, okay.
I approve unanimous.
Make a motion to approve the levy for 2017 motor vehicle commitment number 19 in the amount of $335.
It's
Is
a
it?
recommitment.
Second unanimous.
Vote to approve levy 218 motor vehicle recommitment 17 in the amount of $1391.98.
That's a very expensive vehicle, isn't it? $1,300 and,
No,
anyways.
that's multiple vehicles.
Oh, sorry. Second unanimous.
Vote to approve applicant A's veteran exemption from $400 to $1,000. The veteran is 100% disabled.
Second unanimous.
Vote to approve a partial lien release of 6 acres from Chapter 61A on, do we identify the
Yeah, you
parcel?
can.
On Northwest Schoolhouse Road, map 209, lot 1.1.
Second unanimous.
Vote to approve changes in the assessor's clerk title. Oh, we gotta discuss this, from assessor
Yes.
clerk to assistant assessor. So what do we need to
So
know
there's
about
actually
that?
two votes. One for you to vote to approve the title change, and the second one to approve the new job description that you have in your folder.
I presume there's more education requirements and education.
I'd like to see her get her MAA,
Yeah, of course. Train your replacement. Yep.
and she's really good at what she does. She picks up everything quickly. I think she'd be a great replacement.
I've always been in favor of training your replacements, always. I know Joanne has too.
No, absolutely, you don't wanna have gaps.
What does that do to our budget?
Yeah, good question.
Well, right now she's approved,
Yeah, let's not use dollar amounts on,
no, right now in the budget, it's approved for her to get a salary increase.
okay?
It got approved at the Maytown meeting.
Good,
I just have to present this to personnel
okay.
and ask them to recommend the salary increase after her 6 months is up.
Yeah,
So that would just be because of what she's doing now. And then I would like to propose this title change and job description change and get her another salary increase.
so in the event that she leaves, the new job description educational requirements will be more than what they have been in the past.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah, no, I'm always in favor of training replacements.
So do we wanna vote on those separately? I have the one on the floor about changing the title to assistant assessor.
Are you voting to do that? Making a motion rather?
Yeah, I did, I made the
Okay,
motion.
second unanimous.
And then to vote to approve the new job description for the assistant assessor title.
I will second that and make that unanimous.
Okay, so,
So boat excise tax records are more stringent than motor vehicle?
I just, actually, we just received them yesterday. There's 35 pages of boats.
In
and-
Dudley?
Yes, and we have to figure out what their value is by the age of the boat and the length of the boat manually.
Massachusetts doesn't do this like it does with cars?
The environmental police sends us the list. Then we have to key every single bill in.
So what does that give us, $1,020 a year?
It's like 4,000.
Yeah. Okay, certainly a exercise in futility.
interesting.
Don't forget to sign your sexual harassment sheet in there, Conrad.
Am I signing it to make sure I sexually harass people, or
These days, you best not even joke about this.
I know, right?
what are they gonna do, fire me?
Especially on TV.
Cut my
They'll
pay
take
in
it out of
half?
your salary.
Cut my pay in half?
One of the things that's not on the agenda that we just completed last night is, we just got a new levy 2018 commitment number 5 in motor vehicle excise for $54,389.49, if you guys could vote on
I'm sorry,
that.
say that again?
We received a new motor vehicle
Oh,
commitment,
okay.
excise commitment last night, and we would get it voted on
Last
today.
night, huh?
Last night,
This is hot off the press.
hot off the press.
All right, so I make a motion to approve the levy for 2018 commitment number 5 for $54,389.49.
Oh, I hurt myself, it's so hot.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Made me jump.
Okay.
Sorry.
And is there something in this under the new business?
Yeah, we have to vote on that, and that was in the packet. So the golf course sold to Dudley Fairways LLC, so we have to create a new lien because they're keeping it in Chapter 61B. So we have to put the lien in the owner's name.
All right, so I make a motion to approve the Chapter 61B lien for Dudley Fairways LLC.
I will second that motion.
So what's new in the town of Dudley that applies to us? Anything that we see happening? Any kind of new growth going on in tremendous spurts or what?
And we have over 80,000 in new growth right
That
now.
is awesome,
Yeah.
absolutely awesome. And it's gonna be that way for the next 3 or 4 years. I realize you don't think the same way as I do, but I do believe
You think we're on a roll?
I do. I absolutely do.
I am reluctant to agree on that one.
I know you are.
I think we're in a little bit of a spurt, I'm just not sure how long it's gonna last.
Well, if we keep creating more jobs, we keep creating more families, where are they gonna live? I mean, just think about the $250 million that's being spent in Worcester. 500 employees,
Yeah,
just for the Worcester Red Sox. Where are they gonna live?
yeah. Oh, I don't disagree on that.
I mean, there's nothing zoned to build apartments.
Yeah.
There's nothing zoned to build condos. Where are they gonna live? I mean, my vacancy rate in the last 10 years is almost nothing.
But do you just, we haven't had a tremendous shift in population. How big have our numbers grown? It's just a shift of people moving around.
We've grown 10% in 10 years. Nothing for growth.
Yeah. So what, maybe a city may see a big surge of growth, but at this point,
But the problem is, if they're working in Worcester, they can't go east. I mean, who can afford Boston?
yeah,
They can't go west, or north, because that's West Boylston and Boylston, nothing there to live in.
yeah.
They gotta come south.
So what's available? That's what I'm looking at.
There's nothing
Of
available.
course there isn't.
But we're
So,
still cheaper than going east or north.
so you have to have something to put them in, and if you haven't.
Well, that's
constructed it-
what I'm talking about, supply and demand. There's gonna be an upward pressure. I mean, we're looking at two-bedroom apartments now that were $750, $800 a couple of years ago, now getting $1,000, just like that.
But you're not telling me there are 10 new apartment buildings built. That's what I'm saying. All you're doing is seeing an increase in the price.
That's what I'm talking
But
about.
I'm talking about, do I see much happening for the growth? It's just a shift around of stuff.
Well, I have been sitting on that little subdivision in Oxford for
Yeah.
a couple of years now.
Yeah?
The land values have finally gotten up to where it makes sense to build it, so next spring I'll be putting in that road.
Yes, and since I just sold that house for a lot more money and got it to appraise out, I have managed to help you.
I know that, I know. So the upward pressure on prices, both housing and rent, because the rentals now, for example, we had a single-family house in Webster,
Yeah.
$1,500.
Yeah.
First, last, and security. That meant they had to have 4,500, they had to have a credit score of 700 or better.
Yep.
We had 15 people apply that didn't know, we had more than 15 people
Yeah.
apply. It was, I don't know, 80 or 90, whatever it was. And we had 15 people that didn't know they could buy a house with mass housing. Patrick's got 7 sales out of that, and eight other buyers waiting for housing to come up out. They didn't know they could qualify. They all thought they had to have 20% down.
Yeah.
So the realtors are not doing a great job educating the public about what they can own.
Mm.
And it's getting to the point where it's cheaper to buy than it is to rent, because of the upward spiraling on rent.
Okay, well, that may do it then. Maybe, I hope it stays stable for a few years.
Oh,
We
it
need a
will.
break,
Yeah,
honestly.
we had
Oh, my
a
God.
10-year downtime.
I mean, when you think about it, when you listen on the news the other day, and they suddenly said that 9/11 had been like 70 years ago.
I know,
It's
huh?
like,
I
oh my
know.
gosh. And then the dip started in like 2008,
That's right,
so that's been a good 10 years.
that's right.
That's interesting.
Except for the Great Recession, we've never had 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'm hoping
down.
Dudley reaped some rewards out of it. I mean, we've seen our prices have gotten somewhat better.
Somewhat.
Well, we're within 10% of what Dudley Heights was getting at the height.
Are we that close now?
Yeah, I just sold a one-bedroom for 120.
Good. All right. That's what I'd like to see as a rebound. If we don't tie all our land up in solar and other things that we can't do anything to assist in this new spurt of growth to attract people to our town.
It
that
has
would be-
become so expensive to put in a subdivision. I'm spending $100,000 for 8 lots
Yep.
on fire suppression.
Wow.
$100,000.
Unbelievable.
That's what the fire chief, I gotta put a 20,000 underground sealed tank.
Hmm.
That alone is gonna cost $43,000 just to make it,
Yeah.
Wow.
just to make it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I see our next meeting is scheduled for October 12th. That's not a holiday or anything?
I'm not sure,
What's Columbus Day?
but it's a Friday. Columbus Day's on a Monday, right?
I don't know how we celebrate these things these days, whether that will impact
I think,
anything.
when did we used to have ours? Monday mornings? Our meetings?
No.
We switched them to Fridays,
I don't
was
remember.
it Tuesdays? I think that's when,
We don't remember
I think
anymore.
that's-
1978.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Columbus Day is on a Monday, so,
Okay,
so I
all
think we're
right, so
good.
we're fine?
Yep.
Well, if
All
it's
right.
not, then,
Then we can change it.
Right.
If it doesn't
Yeah.
work, it doesn't work.
hey, my birthday's a national holiday.
There you go.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Really?
Yeah.
They usually vote on mine.
Yeah.
So you have to vote on that.
All right, so as far as we can see, then we make the motion for October 12th for our meeting unless.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I'll contact Tom when he gets back.
Let's see, Mr. Google. When is Columbus Day?
I have to say before we do an adjournment, in Webster, I had an issue on a property that was being sold, and it had to do with last minute coming up with tracking down the ownership of one lot that was included that people were being taxed on. And when I say people don't understand how essential assessors are in a process, Mark Becker spent time, I must have had a stack of papers from him this high, 2 title companies, a tape survey.
he was telling me about
all did it wrong. He found
Yep.
the parcel
Yep.
and was able to track it, that is closing today. And when I say to people that get into real estate, the smartest people you want to know in the building are the assessors. But I give them for diligence and knowing what goes on and being able to track it. He did an incredible job that those people are
He's
able
another
to
resource
transfer
in
their
town.
property. Unbelievable.
I gotta tell you a story about an appraiser. I sold the property that on Thompson Road, right next to the one you sold for
Yep.
$216.
Yep.
Now, as you know, mine was all remodeled
Yep.
11 years ago. The appraiser came in at $214.
Oh, my God.
I got a copy of the appraisal. I'll go into the licensing board for a misrepresenting, appraisal that misrepresents value. He had so many errors. Talked about a slow market in Webster.
Oh,
What was he, blind that he didn't see next door, that property?
was he local and
No,
not
he's
know
from
the area?
Upton. No, I think he was geographically ignorant of the area.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, God.
but I just,
Well, understanding process and people understand, I try to explain to people, even when they're going to sell, we have 3 people with 3 different views. The assessors have one view,
yeah.
the real estate agent's got another, and the appraiser. The only 2 that really matter to you are going to be the appraiser and the real estate agent better agree. But you better check your assessment when it comes in, because if you want to contest it, you got your 30-day window, and after that, don't be crying to everybody,
Right.
bottom line. But assessors are very friendly to the public and are very helpful on what needs to get done.
Yep.
I think that, and I mentioned Mark, but I should also mention Lisa. Lisa is always very accommodating when people come in to help them go through the process of whether it's getting an abatement or doing what they need. And they are very lucky, because honestly, it is not that way in every single town
How-
that they
how
are.
well we know that.
Is easy to deal with, but you guys do a great job. And they may think we live out in the boonies, but we may be in the boonies, but we have some pretty smart people doing a good job for the public. And they need to appreciate that fact.
Yeah, but they don't.
Well, we need to tell them more often, because they don't understand what they have for, right in the palm of their hands. And the people that run town government need to understand how essential they are to make this town operate. And a lot of towns have been doing it, and I'm sure Mark's in the same boat with understaffed. We have been doing it for a long time. That's a lot of responsibility, a lot of work to get done.
So, tell me about the sign policy out front.
Oh, are they advertising on it? No, I thought I saw an ad.
Yeah. What's the deal with-
haven't seen the policy. I know the selectmen discussed it, I believe,
Yeah, I read,
last
that's what I'm
meeting.
saying, I read it in the newspaper, but they wasn't very specific about, can Joanne and I advertise on it?
Well, as I drove by, I saw
Yeah,
public
me
advertisement. I
too.
went, ooh,
It was a
let me
public
wake up.
advertisement?
Yes,
For the Lions?
yes.
Lions Car Show.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, maybe that's considered public service.
Well, they charge.
Yeah, but they're still a nonprofit organization.
I think they are.
That might be it, but it's worth checking.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you,
I'll check on it.
I know we could advertise on their website.
right, that I knew, but the sign
Yeah.
is a little different.
Yep, interesting. All right. Well,
And if that's the case, we should let the public know.
yeah.
Right.
Oh,
If
yeah.
that's gonna be a revenue generator.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we need to clarify first before they all start
I'll
calling.
get
Yeah.
if the policy's complete, I'll get a copy of it.
Yes,
Okay.
please. Well, both people who are listening to us wanna know.
You'd be surprised how many people really listen.
I have never, ever seen a broadcast of our.
Oh, I
meetings.
watch it. Oh, yeah.
It's nice now too, because they put it on the website, so all our meetings are on the
I've never-
website, and it was nice when I came back from vacation. Mary did a fantastic job when I wasn't here, but if I had questions, I could go back and watch it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, it's a good way to train her too, especially dealing with me.
I know, I know.
All right, well, I'm gonna make a motion that we adjourn.
Well, are you okay for the next meeting?
I can-
October 8th is Columbus Day incident,
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm fine for October 12th.
according to Google.
Yes.
According to Google, and Google's always right.
Oh,
Oh, my
absolutely.
God. They've changed our holidays. I don't know whether I'm coming or going.
I don't either.
All right,
So I'll second that motion.
very good.
We're adjourned. Ted, we're adjourned.